Hi, Chili Recaps here. Today I am going to explain a Japanese drama film titled Voice Love. Enjoy and take care. Yoshiko is a gentle and shy girl who has been absent from school since the beginning of the semester because of a cold. One of her friends warns her that if she continues to miss school, she may be alienated. After, Yoshiko receives a phone call from his classmate, who introduces himself as the class representative, Matsubara. Yoshiko is entranced by Matsubara's sweet and gentle voice, losing herself in a different world as her heart races. Matsubara's voice is not only lovely but also reflects respect for others. First, he inquires about her fever. He then informs her that there will be a medical checkup at school the following day, and as a result, all students must bring an additional medical uniform. Upon arriving at school the next day, Yoshiko wonders who Matsubara is, what he is like, and what someone with such a sweet voice might look like. Suddenly, she realizes that her fever has not been completely cured yet. Suddenly, she begins to stagger while walking. Just in time, a young boy rushes in and saves her from falling. The boy asks Yoshiko if she is okay, and after hearing this, she realizes that it is the same voice he talked to yesterday. But when Yoshiko looks at his face, she is shocked because he has covered his face with a paper bag but seems quite gentle and kind. The boy happens to be Matsubara. They both introduce themselves and greet each other. However, Matsubara soon realizes that Yoshiko has not yet fully recovered. He offers to help her and takes her to the medical room where he puts cloth on her forehead. Then, he asks her to promise not to come to school until she is completely healed. The next day on her way to class, Yoshiko meets Matsubara and she shyly thanks him for yesterday. They walk to class together. Some students take a picture of both of them and send it to the school council president, Makoto. In the next scene, Yoshiko tells her friend Aki-chan about Matsubara's kindness. But she is also quite curious about why he keeps covering his face with a paper bag all the time. She guessed that maybe there could be some personal reason for this, due to which she could not ask about it directly, thinking that he might feel bad. After which Aki-chan herself goes and asks Matsubara about his paper bag mask, due to which the whole class gapes at her very seriously. Matsubara's friend, Yu-shun, intervenes to prevent Aki-chan from doing something. At that moment, Yoshiko sneezes loudly, which draws everyone's attention. Yoshiko feels very embarrassed and nervously introduces herself to everyone. Matsubara observes Yoshiko's kind and shy behavior and decides to support her by asking all the students to be friends with her. During the game period after lunch, all the students and Yoshiko are impressed by Matsubara's coolness and gameplay. Suddenly, they both make eye contact with each other. Just then, school council president Makoto and his team members interrupted the class and accused Matsubara of breaking school rules for covering his face with a paper bag. They ordered him to remove the bag, stating that it was not good for the school's image. Afterward, Makoto asked Yoshiko about Matsubara's personality and identity, but Yoshiko was unable to provide any information other than Matsubara's name. Midoriya, who is also the class representative, comes forward and informs the president that Matsubara is the class representative and knows very well what is good and bad for the school's image, and stops him from intervening. President Makoto becomes nervous when he discovers that Midoriya is the daughter of the director, and he gives Matsubara a final warning before leaving with his team. Yoshiko felt bad that she couldn't tell the president about Matsubara. The following day, Yoshiko apologized to Matsubara about it, but he politely declined to worry about it. Yoshiko observes Matsubara that he talks to everyone very politely, respects everyone, and also helps everyone. His sweet voice and behavior are slowly attracting Yoshiko toward Matsubara. Midoriya doesn't like this at all. In the following scene, Yoshiko puts a paper bag on her head and becomes emotional, realizing how tough it must be for Matsubara to always wear a paper bag and conceal his feelings and emotions. She worries about how people would be able to tell if Matsubara is feeling sad or happy. The following day, Makoto once again confronts Matsubara for wearing a paper bag to school and pressures him to reveal his identity. However, Matsubara insists that it is impossible for him to do so without giving any further explanation. This time, Yoshiko becomes agitated and takes action. She immediately grabs President Makoto's hand and pleads with him to stop pressuring Matsubara. She emphasizes that Matsubara is a kind and polite student and that he has his personal reasons for wearing the mask. As Yoshiko holds the president's hand, he feels a sudden rush of affection throughout her body. During the last period, Midoriya stopped Matsubara to talk about something and came very close to him. At that moment, Yoshiko suddenly arrives there and saw Midoriya and Matsubara standing very close to each other. She got upset and left the place. On the following day, Yoshiko once again spots Matsubara and Midoriya conversing with each other. Midoriya presents different paper bags of diverse designs to Matsubara, but he asks Yoshiko which paper bag would look good on him. In response, Yoshiko suggests that the only paper bag that suits him is the one he is already wearing. Meanwhile, Makoto confesses to his friends that he has fallen in love with Yoshiko, but he gets nervous whenever she confronts him. Yoshiko once again feels bad and upset after seeing both Matsubara and Midoriya together at the fundraising program and then after in the library. Yoshiko tells her friend Akechi-chan about this, while some students are talking that both Matsubara and Midoriya are dating each other. Here, President Makoto accidentally comes across Yoshiko. He doesn't even get a word out of his mouth and gets nervous and runs away. Matsubara tells his friend Yushin that Yoshiko has been ignoring him since this morning, which he doesn't like. Yushin suggested to Matsubara that he should invite Yoshiko to lunch together, which gave Matsubara the idea to ask her out. Matsubara asks Yoshiko to have lunch with him, and then they both go to the school's rooftop and share each other's lunch. During the conversation, Matsubara revealed that he likes boiled pumpkin very much. During lunch, Makoto comes to find Yoshiko in the class. He asks Aki-chan about Yoshiko, after which Midoriya tells him that Yoshiko and Matsubara have gone to the school rooftop to have lunch together. In the next scene, Yushin and Matsubara are cleaning the school toilet. Yushin asks Matsubara about Yoshiko's behavior towards him, to which he replies that Yoshiko was absolutely normal, like always. Yushin realizes that maybe Yoshiko likes Matsubara. Yushin reveals that there is a rumor in class that both Matsubara and Midoriya are dating. Just then, Matsubara receives a message from Midoriya that she is waiting for him in the library and needs to discuss something important. Meanwhile, Makoto reaches his staff room and is shocked to see that Yoshiko is already there waiting for him. In the library, Midoriya tries to make Matsubara realize that she likes him by telling him the story of Romeo and Juliet. However, she once again fails to express her love and leaves without saying anything. Makoto becomes nervous when he sees Yoshiko sitting in front of him. He apologizes to Yoshiko for his behavior towards Matsubara and gathers the courage to express his desire to be friends with Yoshiko, and she accepts Makoto's offer of friendship. In the next scene, Matsubara meets with Yoshiko to clarify the misunderstanding between them and the rumors spreading in the class about him and Midoriya. On that particular day, Yoshiko is preparing boiled pumpkin for Matsubara at her home. The next day, Yoshiko holds a box of boiled pumpkin for Matsubara, while some students discuss that Midoriya has left the school between the mid-semester. Yoshiko attempted to meet Matsubara multiple times throughout the day, but each time encountered an obstacle preventing her from giving him the pumpkins. In the last period, she met some students who informed her that Matsubara was playing basketball with his friends on the school's rooftop. She hurriedly ran to the roof of the school, but could not find anyone there. This made her very upset as she had cooked boiled pumpkin with so much effort, but could not give it to Matsubara. As she was leaving, Matsubara called out from behind and stopped her. They both sat together and had a conversation. Then, Yoshiko gave the box of boiled pumpkin to Matsubara. He became very happy to receive it as a gift and thanked Yoshiko for it. Yoshiko can imagine Matsubara's smiling face behind his mask. He reached out his hand to touch Yoshiko's face, but stopped midway and thanked her once again for the gift before leaving the place. In the next scene, Matsubara is eating boiled pumpkin that Yoshiko had given him. Then Yushin comes there. Matsubara confides in Yushin about the events that took place on the school rooftop. He reveals that he has developed feelings for Yoshiko, but believes that their relationship will never progress due to the secret of his mask and his ugliness. Yushin explains to him that Yoshiko is not the kind of girl who judges someone by their beauty. Rather, she sees the beautiful heart and nature of peoples. He asks assures Matsubara that one day Yoshiki will definitely understand his feelings while on their way. Yushin suggests that they plan a picnic with Yoshiko and her friend for the upcoming weekend. On the next weekend, they all went for a picnic and had a lot of fun. While returning home, Matsubara praised Yoshiko for boiled pumpkin and gave her some candies in the lunchbox as a return gift. After the weekend, Yoshiko was absent from school for 2 days due to a cold. When Matsubara found about her illness, he decided to pay her a visit at her home after school. Once inside the house, he meets Yoshiko's mother. When Yoshiko saw Matsubara, she was taken aback and felt very shy because she was not looking her best. She then fainted and fell to the ground. The following day, the class is discussing the upcoming school function scheduled for the weekend. Matsubara asks all the students to come up with ideas for what the class menu symbol should be. Yoshiko then creates cookies that resemble Matsubara's paper bags in her book. Everyone in the class loves this symbol and praises Yoshiko, naming it the Matsubara cookie. In the next scene, the President Makoto meets with Matsubara. He confesses his love for Yoshiko and warns him that he would do anything for her. After some time, Makoto and Yoshiko unexpectedly run into each other. Makoto is dressed in a peculiar and comical outfit, which causes Yoshiko to laugh a bit. Makoto explains that he will be playing the role of the prince in the upcoming weekend's drama and extends a special invitation to Yoshiku to come and watch the show. Upon seeing Yoshiku and Makoto talking at the bottom of the stairs, Matsubara becomes upset and leaves. The following day, Yushin asks Yoshiku if he finds it odd to see Matsubara's mask, stating that it is impossible to know what he looks like. Yoshiku responds by stating that she can determine his emotions without looking at his face and that she is more concerned about Matsubara's nature and feeling than his appearance. On which, Yushin remembered the moment when Matsubara told him that there must be someone in the world who would judge him by his feelings and nature, not by his face. That same day, Yoshiku is making Matsubara cookies with the help of her brother. The following day, all the students begin preparing for the school program, showing their utmost dedication to the task. President Makoto is also rehearsing for his drama performance. He meets Yoshiku again and politely requests her to ensure that she arrives on time for the drama. In the upcoming scene, the drama begins to unfold. Makoto, who's playing the part of the prince, is doing an excellent job, delivering an outstanding performance. However, when he glances towards the audience, he doesn't spot Yoshiku, which makes him anxious. Nevertheless, he continues with his act. After playing the act for a while, he suddenly sees that Yoshiku is sitting in the audience and cheering him. Seeing her, he abruptly stops and forgets his dialogues and stands as if he has been shocked. Makoto's friends try to remind him of the dialogue, but he remains still as they turn off the audience lights, keeping them only on Yoshiku. Makoto hesitantly tries to speak his dialogue, but instead of speaking the dialogue, he starts praising Yoshiku. Everyone in the audience is looking at her and Matsubara is also listening standing behind. After the act ends, Makoto apologizes to Yoshiku for embarrassing him in front of everyone and clarifies that he did not do it intentionally. Yoshiku then assures her that he need not feel bad about it, as she was actually complimenting his performance and appearance. In the following scene, it is revealed that an unknown girl has been inquiring about Matsubara from all the students since morning. After some time, both Matsubara and Yoshiku are talking to each other. Yoshiku praises Makoto's performance and his looks, to which Matsubara is infuriated and angrily tells her to stop praising Makoto and goes from there. The school's night program begins, and the unknown girl who has been searching for Matsubara since morning finally finds him. That girl's name is Kairu. Yoshiku feels bad after seeing Kairu and Matsubara getting too close to each other, and she leaves the place sadly. Aki-chan informs Yoshiku that Kairu is Matsubara's childhood friend who has come from America to celebrate Christmas. The next day in the school, Yoshiku and Matsubara are both ignoring each other and are afraid to face each other. All of the students are celebrating Christmas by having a party, and Makoto is dressed up as Santa Claus. During last period, Matsubara meets Yoshiku outside class and tells her that they are not talking to each other like before. Then Kairu interrupts both of them and takes Matsubara with her to the Christmas party. Yoshiku was about to leave the place feeling sad when she noticed some children bothering Makoto, mistaking him for Santa Claus and causing him to drop his cake on the road. Seeing Makoto with cake on his face, Yoshiku burst out laughing. Then, Makoto requested Yoshiku to take him to the temple with her the next day, and she agreed. The following day, Makoto and Yoshiku visit the temple to pray. On their way back, Makoto admits to Yoshiku that he has strong feelings for her. However, Makoto is prioritizing his studies and doesn't want to pursue a relationship at the moment. He only wants Yoshiku to be happy, regardless of whom he's with. Yoshiku realizes that Makoto is truly a kind-hearted person. Matsubara expressed to Kairu that he considers him a good friend and wishes to maintain their friendship forever. He also shared with Kairu about his love feeling for Yoshiku, who was the first person to never question Matsubara's mask and understood his feelings exceptionally well. The next day, Matsubara calls Yoshiku to meet him on the school rooftop, where Matsubara explains to him the reason for wearing his paper bag. He revealed Yoshiku that he felt very sad after his father passed away. Seeing his sorrowful expression and ugliness, nobody would approach him or engage in conversation with him. One day, he decided to wear a paper bag with a smiling face drawn on it, and suddenly everyone started talking to him. He tells that everyone makes fun of him behind his back, but Yoshiku is the first one whose heart is pure. Yoshiku replies that no matter how handsome or ugly Matsubara may be in appearance, there is no one better than him nature-wise. She reminds him that Matsubara was the one who saved him from the fall, who took her to the medical room and who always stood by her in support, and during conversation, she mistakenly declares her love for Matsubara. And when she is realized, she runs away shyly. The next day, Yoshiku tells her friend Aki-chan about this all and asks how she will face Matsubara now. In the next scene, Yoshiku and Matsubara are talking. Matsubara proposes to Yoshiku and expresses his feelings towards her. He tells her that he likes coming to school now and that he wants to spend his life with her. Matsubara tries to take off his mask, but she stops him from doing so. She explains that it's not necessary for him to take off his mask to express his love for her. She doesn't care about his mask and wants him to be happy with it on. Here Yushun proposes Aki-chan, and she accepts his proposal, and Makoto also gets her graduation degree. In the final scene, Matsubara slowly removes his mask, finally revealing his face to Yoshiko. She gazes at him lovingly and gives a sweet smile, expressing her desire to listen to Matsubara's voice for the rest of her life. And the movie ends here.
If you enjoyed it, please subscribe and turn on notifications to stay updated with all our latest videos.